Hi guys, and welcome back to another video game with powers. I'm Jake, and in today's video, I'll be showing you a solo playthrough of Marvel Dice Throne missions. In today's playthrough, I will be taking on the role of Iceman, and we will be embarking on the Sebastian Shaw mission. So let's go ahead and jump down to the table where we got everything set up, ready to go. Alright guys, so we are down here at the table where we have everything set up for our solo playthrough of Marvel Dice Throne missions. Now, each particular mission, guys, is going to have a little pamphlet like this, and there are going to be two sides to the mission. On one side is going to be your mission run or kind of scenario that you're going to have to deal with before you get to the boss fight, and on the back side of this little pamphlet is going to be the boss. So they're going to look a little something like this. So here's an example of the master mold scenario, right? So as you can see here, you are going to have a mission run or this little scenario, which is what you see on the table. And then once you complete that, you will flip it over on the backside and you will have the boss fight against the particular person that you're choosing to fight. So today's video, we are taking on the nuclear assault mission, which is going to be Sebastian Shaw. Okay, and like I said, I am taking on the role of Iceman right here. So we have all of his particular components that we are going to need. Since these videos can get pretty lengthy, guys, I'm going to go ahead and split this into two parts. Today's video is just going to be the mission run, and then I will have another video where we take on Sebastian Shaw, the boss for this particular scenario. All right, guys, let's just kind of talk about some of the different things that we got here around the board, and then we will dive right in. So we have our scenario nuclear assault. So it says Sebastian Shaw has occupied a nuclear power plant in Sokovia. He is negotiating with the government to leave the power plant, but this is just a distraction to buy time. Right now, his goons are hacking the reactor in an effort to initiate a meltdown. Shaw hopes the resulting nuclear holocaust will be his first strike in a war against non-mutants, scare off his goons before they can do any damage. Additional setup, place a plot token on the 0% spaces of the hacking meter listed below the bonus objective, which is going to be over here. So that is our mission run scenario. Let's look at our main objective here. Our goal is to defeat any 4 enemies, then move all heroes through the exit. So in these scenarios, our enemies are printed on the actual pamphlet. So they are all right here. And to defeat them, basically, I just need to be in an adjacent spot to do damage. So defeat 4 enemies and then come out through the exit over here. Upon completion, if I fulfill the main objective, I get distribute 6 health and 3 momentum amongst myself, then flip this board for the final battle. A perfect reward is if we defeat all henchmen, we distribute 10 health and 5 momentum throughout everybody. So that is our main objective. We also have a bonus objective over here that says stop Sebastian Shaw's goons from hacking the power plant's control system. So our goal is the henchman crisis abilities will progress the plot token along the meter here. Defeat all enemies adjacent to both hacking terminals before the token reaches fail. So we have a hacking terminal here and a hacking terminal here. So we will need to defeat this enemy, this enemy, this enemy, and that enemy to complete this. Upon completion, we distribute 4 momentum. If we fail, every hero rolls 1 dice for each hacking terminal with at least 1 henchman adjacent to it. Each hero receives collateral damage equal to the value that they rolled. All right, so those are my main objective. I also have my bonus objective here. Let's take a look really quickly at the enemies that we're going to face. So we have some cult thugs. So here, here, and here. They got 10 health. They have 1 shield for 3. If they get this pattern right here, they're going to deal 6 defendable damage, and we'll get their crisis ability when they get there. Our strike team, 16 health, 1 shield. Strike team here and strike team here. That is what they need. Multi-strike, melee, inflict wither, and deal 6 damage. We have the Hellfire Club here and here. 2 of those and 1 of those. Multi-strike, melee, deal 5 undefendable damage. And then we have a sniper, which is an unstoppable threat. So if this happens, if an opponent is not adjacent to a henchman, deal 4 undefendable damage. And I cannot take out that sniper whatsoever. So let's talk about the new things that are coming to Dice Throne. Obviously, we've seen some of this is somewhat new. We also have these boost tokens. Whenever I land on these boost tokens, I will be able to claim that particular bonus. We have a crisis clock down here that I believe at the end of every henchman's round, this is going to move the number of players. So it's going to move one spot. Whenever it lands on these particular spots, a certain effect is going to activate. And the last thing we have is momentum in allies, okay? So momentum over here, I can gain throughout the course of the scenario here, and I can use these momentums to do different things. So I can recruit an ally during my main phase by paying the cost of the associated ally, or I can gain range during my offensive role play. So star player distributes 2 momentum when a defeat tile is placed on a henchman, and I do start with 1 momentum. Let's take a look at some of our allies. So we can recruit these allies by paying the momentum cost in the top right hand corner. When we gain these allies, they go into our pile. So we got Havoc right here. When I recruit him, I would gain 2 shields. Once per round during your main phase, I can exhaust Havoc, which is put him at the bottom of the ally deck to gain that particular bonus. So we got Havoc out here to start. We got Emma Frost, which is a promo, so she is 2. If I get 5 of the same symbol, I gain range, I gain shield, I inflict blind, deal 4 undefendable damage, and then I can exhaust her immediately to add 4 damage to that attack. And then lastly, we have Leech out here. So 2 momentum. Once per round as an instant action, spend 1 momentum. A chosen player prevents 3 incoming damage. I can exhaust him to inflict 2 wither on a chosen opponent. Alrighty, so that is pretty much everything out here. And of course, Iceman, who we are playing today, and I'm actually going to move him up just a smidge and cover some of this so we guys get a better look of Iceman here. This is Iceman's setup. So we have a dice cube here. A player afflicted with this token cannot alter the lowest value from their first roll attempt during their offensive roll phase. Ice Shard, spend 5 Ice Shards at any time to gain Glide. Glide is going to allow me during my offensive roll phase if it results in an ability that has a glide path. I may spend this token at the conclusion of my opponent's defensive roll phase. If spent, I glide path to the next offensive ability. And so it kind of shows you what these glide paths are down here. So on his board, you will see these different arrows. So for example, I have Frostbite right here. You see how this kind of arrow glides down. So if I were to activate Frostbite and I have Glide at the end of the defensive roll phase, I spin that Glide and I would glide down this path to activate Everybody Chill. Right? Everybody Chill glides into Cold Threat. Cold Threat glides into Ice to Meet You. Over here, we have Hail the King glides into Thawsome. Hoarfrost glides into Thawsome, and then there is my defensive ability. And of course, my ultimate is Ice Storm. All right, guys. Like I said, these can get pretty lengthy. Now, I do want to note that this is also my first time playing one of these missions, so please forgive me if I do happen to make a mistake. Last thing actually that Iceman has is a freezer card. So sometimes I will have an ability that will say store, and I can put ice, store ice on these ice shards on this particular card that I have over here. Okay. So the way the game would work, the very first thing we're going to do is the pass. So in a normal game, I would pass the first player token. Since I'm the only player, it goes with me. Now we're going to do our movement phase. So I can move any number of spaces and end up where I want to. If you will start off the map kind of in this place. You must go through the entry point first. So I'm kind of off the map. I must do my first movement into here, and then I can kind of continue on the path that I would like. When you're moving, like I said, it's my understanding you can move any number of spaces that you would like. However, any space that has a dark or black inlay behind it, I cannot move through. So you see these spaces with the enemies are a little bit darker. I cannot move through those spaces. So my first movement is I must go through the entry, and then I will continue and move onto this spot right here. All right, so I have ended my movement. If I end my movement in any space that has a boost token, which this does, I will pick it up and collect it. So I'm gonna put my guy right there for now. So this is gain 1 momentum. So we will gain 1 momentum on our little track here. and we are good to go. Okay, so now we'll move into the hero part 1 phase. So this would be the upkeep phase here. So I will gain 1 CP. I will draw a card, and let's see what we have. We have Tip It, increase or decrease any die by the value of 1. All right, you started with 2 CP and 4 cards in your hand, which I'll show you all my cards in a second. We've done the income phase, and now we're moving into main phase 1. So here's what I started with my hand. I got Double Up, I got Transference, I got Everybody Chill 2, an upgrade, which gives me Sub-Zero as well. I have Six It, and I have Tip It. All right, so I think right away we will play Double Up. So 1 CP to draw 2 cards. So this is gonna break me down to 2, and let's draw 2 cards, which we have a So Wild. So change the value of any 1 die, and Triple Up, draw 3 cards, okay? You also start with 45 health in the solo scenario. So I got Triple Up, So Wild, Transference, Everybody Chilled, Six It, and Tip It. All right, where is Everybody Chill 2 is down here. So that's an Ice and 3 Frost. So a Frost is 6. So basically that's a 1, 2, 3, and 3 6s. Man, that is kind of tough there. Okay. Or I can get a 2 and 2 6s. You know what? I think we might. I got 2 right now. Let's go ahead and just keep everything in our hand, and we will go to the offensive roll phase. All right. So the offensive roll phase. Let's roll. Whoops. Let me grab this, and let's see what we get. All right. So I got 2 6s. All right, 2 5s and a 2. Man, I should have upgraded when I had the chance. Obviously, we're going to keep these 6s, and let's re-roll these other 3 here. Let's see what we get. We got a 4, a 1, and a 3. I think we keep the 6s, and let's try one more time. We got a 4, a 3, and a 2. Okay. Man, I should have actually played that, because I would have had an undefendable damaged move. Okay, so we have 2, 3, 4. What is this? So store 2 ice shards in the freezer, inflict dice cube, deal 6 defendable damage. Or I can alter one of these to do Everybody Chill, which would give me an ice shard, deal 5 damage, then choose 1, add 1 damage per ice shard. So that'd be 6 damage, or I can gain 2 ice shard and draw 1 card. So really, if I'm changing it, it might be better to just do Fossum. So let's go 2, 3, 4, and then let's play Tip It. So increase or decrease any die by the value of 1. All right, so this is gonna cost me 1 CP. I will tip this to a 5. So I have a 2, 3, 4, 5, which is Fossum. So I store 2 ice shards. So I will take 2 ice shards. I have my freezer card right here. If it wants to, ooh. All right. Got my freezer card right here, and you can see there's spots where I store these. And so I will store 2 at this particular time. Alrighty. So I'm storing 2. I inflict dice cube. Now here's the thing. Anytime I inflict a status, okay, I can, instead of inflicting the status, gain 1 momentum, which I actually will do. So I will gain 1 momentum instead. And then now I am dealing 6 defendable damage. So who do I want to tackle first? I think ideally I want to tackle this particular person right here. So we are dealing 6 defendable damage. So I don't think the enemies are going to do a defensive roll. I think they're just going to take damage and use the shield to block damage the very first time. So I'm dealing 6 defendable damage. I'm choosing this target right here. 3 will be blocked by this shield, and then she will take 3 damage. So she is going down to 13 health right here. Okay. So that is the conclusion of my offensive roll phase. So now we will move into hero phase part 2. So my main phase 2 and discard. So what I can do is I have 1 CP left. I also have 3 momentum. This might be a great time to buy somebody. And you know what? I think I am going to spend 3 and grab me Havoc, okay? So 3 momentum, I get Havoc. As soon as I recruit him, I gain 2 shields. And then once per round during my main phase, I can deal 2 collateral damage to all opponents. And this is not considered an attack. So I'm just gonna put Havoc right here. I am spending all 3, so I'm down to 0 momentum. And that is going to be the conclusion of my turn. Oh, we need to get a new ally out here. We got Hawkeye. So 2, once per round during your roll phase, spend 2 momentum, inflict focus fire on a chosen opponent, then exhaust him to inflict targeted on a chosen opponent. So we have a Hawkeye. Okay. So that is the conclusion of everything that I'm doing. Hero part 1, target and resolve, hero part 2. All right, we'll now go to the enemy upkeep phase, check status effects. I don't think we have any status effects at this particular time. We are going to roll the henchmen. So I got the 4 henchmen dice right here, and I'm gonna roll them over here, and then we will resolve with what we have. Okay, so we have 2 of these, this, and this. Okay. So now we're gonna go from left to right, basically. So let's see if anybody is going to activate. So our Cult Thugs need 3, okay? They will not activate. Our Strike Team needs 1 and Double Spiral. They will not activate. However, the Hellfire Club would activate. So let's see, we have 2 and 2. It says multi-strike melee attack. So I am not adjacent to anybody from the, Hellfire Club. All right, so they will not attack. And then we have our Sniper. So if an opponent is not adjacent to a henchman, deal 4 undefendable damage. I am adjacent to a henchman. Okay, so nobody, I'm actually going to skedaddle out of here without any damage. And real quick, I did not get my 2 shields. So let me acquire my 2 shields right here and move Iceman back up in his particular spot. I skate out of here. I'm pretty sure I'm reading that correctly. I do get to skate out of here free. And that is the end of the enemy phase. So the very last thing we would now do is go to the Crisis Clock. Advance token once per hero. So we only have 1 hero. So we would advance it here. And then now we would continue back up top with our movement. So man, I think what I actually do is don't move and stay where I am at because I want to try and take this person out, go back this way and clear out some of these particular people over here. So I'm choosing to move and stay where I'm at, so 0 movement. We now move to the hero phase. So obviously we're going to gain 1 CP here for 2. We're going to draw a card and I have Rhyme 2. All right, Rhyme 2 for my defense, okay? And now we go into my main phase. Oof. You know what? I don't know about my defense. What is this? So I would roll 4 dice. On an ice, deal 1 damage. On that, prevent 2 damage. On that, deal 2 damage. That might be pretty good. For right now. So let me do that. So let me spend 2 CP. I'm going to upgrade my defense to Rhyme 2. So I'm going down to 0 here. Keep everybody chill. So wild transference. I am actually going to sell transference for 1 CP, as crazy as that might be. And I do have Havoc, so once per round during my main phase, I can exhaust him to deal 2 collateral damage to all opponents. I'm gonna save him for right now, okay? Let's go into my offensive roll phase. So let's roll some stuff here. Okay, so I have 2, 2, 1, 5, and 5. Ice to meet you would be 4 5s. 3 5s, gain 1 CP, store 1 ice shard in the freezer, deal 7 damage. I want to store a lot of ice shards. That's what I think I do. I want to get to this glide as quickly as possible. So really my best bet is this Thawsome. So let's keep 1-5 and re-roll the rest of these here. All right, so 3, 3, 4, and 6. And I do have it. So 5, 4, 6, and 3. Okay, look at that. 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I'm gonna attack with that again. So, awesome. Store 2 more ice shards in the freezer. All right, whenever I have 5 ice shards in the freezer, I can immediately turn that into a glide. We are going to inflict Dice Cube. However, I'm going to use that to gain 1 momentum. Alrighty. And then we are dealing 6 damage. Now, they don't have a defense anymore, so 3 damage will go away, and then they're going to do 3 more damage to have 7 left over. All right, 7 left over. And that would be the conclusion of my offensive roll phase. Let's take my dice away here. And let's see what we have left over. So I have 1 CP left over. I think I'm going to keep everything in my hand, and I'm just going to end my turn. So we would go to the henchman phase here. So let's go ahead and roll some dice for our particular henchman. And we have, okay, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. We got it straight. All right. So now our cult thugs will activate. So because they need a 1, 2, 3. So he is going to activate right here. So he will multi-strike, melee, and deal 6 defendable damage. All right. Let me go ahead and roll my defense, and I'm probably going to spend one of these deflector right here. So I get 4 dice. Okay, I get a ice, and 2 waves right there. So on this, I deal 1 damage. Okay. On this, I prevent 2 damage, and that is it. Okay. So he would deal 6. I prevent 2 straight up. I'm going to spend one of these shields to prevent an additional 3. So I would prevent 5. So I'm only taking 1 damage for 4. And then he is going to be taking 1 damage in return. All right, so this would move him down to 9, okay? That would move him down to 9. They would not spend the shield, if I am correct. Defendable damage is that little circle right there. This is a red, so that would not be defendable, so he would, in fact, take that damage. Okay, I'm not adjacent to that cult thug. I'm not adjacent to that cult thug. Strike team. We need 2 swirlies and 1 of these. We only have 1 swirly that does not activate. Hellfire Club does not activate, and Sniper does not activate. Okay, so that clears all of our particular henchmen. And then we are going to move the crisis clock. Okay, so when you land on one of these particular crisis symbols, I guess, you will activate the crisis ability of this thug. So our henchman here says deal 2 collateral damage to all heroes. So 1, 2, I'll just take it. And then we're going to roll 1 dice. On a swirly, we're going to push the hacking meter up 1. All right, no swirly, so I go ahead and survive that. All right. That is the end of the crisis clock phase again. I do think I'm playing everything right. If I make any mistakes, I do apologize. Please go ahead and put them down in the comments below. Movement phase, again, I'm just gonna sit pat where I'm at. Let's go ahead and move into our upkeep phase. So 1 CP and 1 card, Helping Hand. Select one of your opponent's dice and force them to re-roll it. And we will go into our main phase. I'm gonna go ahead and discard this Helping Hand to gain 1 CP, bringing me up to 3. And do I wanna get that Everybody Chill for now? I think I do. I will spend 2 CP, 1, 2, and upgrade Everybody Chill to Everybody Chill 2, and also giving me Sub-Zero, which will give me some undefendable damage here. If I need it. All right, let's go straight into my offensive roll phase, and let's see what we got. So we have 2, 3, 4, 5 right off the bat. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Is there anything else that I want to do? I only have 1 CP, so I could 6 a die. Let me re-roll this individual die, see what I get here. We get another 3. Let me roll it one more time. I might get Cold Treat. And we do get another 4. So I do have Cold Treat available, which is gain 1 CP, store 1 Ice Shard in the freezer, deal 7 damage. That would be enough to kill her. 6 would not be enough. I think that's what we do. So we have 2 ice and 3, I don't know if you guys can see that, 3 swirly here. So we would gain 1 CP, bringing me up to 2. We'll store 1 Ice Shard in the freezer. This is my 5th Ice Shard in the freezer. So what I can do now is take all of these Ice Shards and convert it into 1 glide. All right, convert it into 1 glide. Let me just make sure. When a card ability says store, take it. If more than 5 Ice Shard would be stored here, you may immediately remove 5 of them to store 1 glide instead. Okay, well actually, that might not be, if more than 5, okay, would be stored, store up to 5 Ice Shard in 1 glide. So I would get 5, more than 5, I can immediately remove 5 of them to store 1 glide. So never mind, I will not be getting my glide just yet. So I do have 5 stored on here. We will deal 7 defendable damage, okay? So 7 defendable damage will be enough to defeat this particular henchman. Whenever you defeat a henchman, you will take this token, put this here, and I will gain 2 momentum for defeating this henchman. And now I'm able to move into that particular space. Okay, so I do believe I have activated everything that I need. So that is the conclusion of my offensive roll phase. I do have 2 CP. Let me go ahead and spend my 2 CP to draw 3 cards. So let's go down to 0 and we'll draw 3 cards. So I get that out of here. All right, get that out of here. What else do we have? Samesies. All right, Samesies and Ice Sight. Gain 2 Ice Shards. All right, gain 2 Ice Shards. And that is what I have. Okay. I think what I might do is just keep all this for now. And, well, maybe I'll spend this, get that out of here to gain 1 CP. All right, just so I have something. And I could spend Havoc to deal 2 damage to everybody, but I don't think that's necessary right now. Because the only person that would deal damage to me is that guy. So I think I'm gonna end my turn. All right, let's move to our henchmen and see what we have. All right, whoa, we have 4 6s. That's gotta be some crazy ultimate or something. Unfortunately, nobody will activate except for the sniper. And if opponent is not adjacent to a henchman, deal 4 undefendable damage. I am adjacent to a henchman, so I will not take any damage whatsoever because we need 3 orange, 1 orange and 2 swirlies. 2 swirlies and a yellow would activate, but I am. And that is the conclusion of our henchman phase. So we would move the crisis clock 1 spot and then we'll take it back up top. So movement. Now's a good opportunity for me to move. I think what I'm gonna do is move here, here, and here for now. All right, next to this individual right here. Or I could just pop here and get the 3 bonus. Ooh, what is the move? Because I pop him. Let's see, if I popped him, then moved over to pop him, I would have to go back around here to pop her. Or I could just move through here to pop her. I think I might actually, I'm good on my hacking meter right now. I think I'm gonna stay right here. So I will move there. Let's go to the hero part 1. We have the CP, Hail the King 2, and Snow Cone. Store 8 Ice Shards in the freezer. That is crazy, crazy work. So I have 2 CP, 1 CP to gain 2 Ice Shard. I'm just gonna hold on to everything that I have right now. Do I want to exhaust him? I can also hire somebody, but I think I can only have 1 ally at a time. Spend 2, inflict focus fire. Emma Frost if I roll 5 of the same symbol. Gain shield, inflict blind, deal 4 undefendable damage. I can deal 8 undefendable damage or leech once per round as an instant action. I think I'm gonna save everything for right now and roll. Okay, so I got double 6s. Whew. I got 4, 5, and this. What is double 6? So that's 5 undefendable damage, gain 2 Ice Shards, deal 5 damage, then choose 1. Add 1 damage per Ice Shard or gain 2 Ice Shard and draw 1 card. Oof. Or 3 6s, give me 3 Ice Shard, Dice Cube, deal 5 undefendable damage, additionally deal 2 collateral damage to all opponents. Ooh, yeah. All right, let's keep this. Let's see what else I can get. 2, 3, 4. One more time. And okay. So 1, 3, and 5. Let's, so I do have Sub-Zero, which is 5 undefendable damage. Change the value of one of your dice, so 1 CP and 1 6-it. Is it worth burning 5? 2 damage to everybody. I could deal an additional 4 damage. Yeah, this might be worth it here. Let me just try it. Why not? So 1 CP, change the value of one of my dice to a 6. Another CP, samesies, to change the value of one of my dice to be identical to the other. So 2 CP is gone. I'll just change both of these to 6s. So now I have 4 6s. And again, biting me in the rear is this. Oh, actually, well, I couldn't do that because I need to spend the CP. Okay, so I have 4 CP or 4 6s. We are doing Hail the King. So gain 3 Ice Shards. These go on my actual player. These are not stored Ice Shards, okay? I can inflict Dice Cube, which instead of inflicting Dice Cube, I will use a to gain 1 momentum. All right, then I inflict 5 undefendable damage to this guy right here. So he will take damage and come down to 5. All right, and then we are dealing 2 collateral damage to all opponents. So I'm just gonna go right to left here. So he is going to go down to 7. All right, so he's down to 7. He is down to 3. All right, they're down to 10. 10 for them. All right, these are 2s. He is down to 8. This guy right here is down to 8. And then 14. So we need a 4. With this person. Okay, 4. All right. So that was deal 5 undefendable, deal 2 collateral damage to all opponents. All right, Hero Phase Part 2. I think what I'm gonna do right now is once per turn during my main phase, I can exhaust Havoc to deal 2 collateral damage to all opponents. So I exhaust him, put him at the bottom of the deck. That is my understanding. I deal additional 2 collateral damage to all opponents. So he moves down to a 5. All right, he is down to a 1. We have 6 for him. We have 8 for this particular person. All right, 8 for this person. Let me grab one of these tokens here. 8 for that person. And then 12 for this one. 12 for that one. Okay, so that should be 2 collateral damage to everybody. All right, I can recruit an ally, which I want to. So 5 of the same symbol. That's going to be pretty tough. Spend 2 momentum to inflict focus fire on a chosen opponent. Inflict targeted on a chosen opponent. Once per round as an instant action, I can expend him. I should have gotten Emma Frost and used the Emma Frost with what I had here. Okay, so basically Ember Frost really is not going to help me a whole lot, so it's either inflict focus fire or chosen player prevents incoming damage. I think I'm going to take Leech. So 2 momentum to take Leech, which is once per round as an instant action. I can spend 1 momentum. My chosen player prevents 3 incoming damage. All right, let's see what new ally comes out. We have Mantis. Once per round as an instant action, I choose 1, hero heals 2, exhaust, the hero heals an additional 3. All right, that's not bad. That is not bad. So that will conclude my main phase here. So we'll go to the henchman phase and let's see what we get. All right, double that and double that. All right, so Cold Thugs do not activate. The strike team will, because they will do this and this. Thankfully, I do believe this is a melee attack. All right, melee attack. So the one strike team was here, the other strike team was here, so that is melee. This will not activate, and that does not activate. Okay, we are progressing into our next crisis clock. I must discard 1 card from my hand. Gain 2 ice shard. Oof, this is tough. This is a brutal one. I think I'll just get rid of ice sight. Okay, ice sight is down. Then we pack it up top to the movement phase. So I think what I'm going to do here is move into this particular spot, which will collect me this +3 token, and I will get a +3 bonus on my particular damage. Let's go into my upkeep phase. So 1 CP, 1 card. Vegas baby, roll 1 dice, gain half the value as CP. You love that, and that's what I'm gonna play right away. Let's roll 1 dice. We get a 2. Yay, I get 1 whole CP. Hey, look, 1 whole CP is better than nothing. Okay, let's go into my offensive roll phase here. Do I just do Hail the King? I can, I think it might be worth it here. Let me spend 2 CP, do Hail the King. If I get 3 6s, I can store 8 ice shards in the freezer and glide straight into Fawsome. All right. And then let's go ahead and roll some dice. All right. So we have 1 6, which we're going to keep. Let me re-roll the rest of these. Man. That is a tough call. It might be better to do awesome right there. You know what? I think I got to do that. So 6, 5, 4, and 3 will get me Fawsome. I think we're just going to do that. So store 2 ice shard in the freezer. So now I have 5. So I would gain 1, which would automatically get me a glide right here. And then 1 more would be put on there just like that for my 7th ice store. So that was storing 2 ice shards. Inflict dice cube, but we are going to gain 1 momentum for that. And then we are dealing 6 defendable damage to this guy right here. He will block 3 of it, and then he will take 3 damage, which will be enough to defeat him. And we are clear there. And I gain 2 momentum. All right. So back down into my main phase 2. I have 0 CP. I have a So Wild. I don't think I'm going to do anything, and I will end my turn. So let's see what these henchmen are doing right here. Okay. So this is what we have, 3 oranges. So a Cold Thug will attack. So this guy right here is next to me. We are going to attack. So 6 defendable damage. Let me go ahead and roll my dice here. Okay, so wow. On a slide, I prevent 2. I will also spend my shield to prevent an additional 3. So I only take 1 damage here, 241. So slides are gone. On this, I deal 2 damage. And actually, I messed up the last time I read this. So this, I would deal 2 damage back to him, bringing him down to 4. All right, guys, 4. And then it says on 2 of a kinds, I get to store 2 ice shards. So 2 of a kind, 2 of a kind. So I would get to store on 2 of a kind, store 2 ice shards in the freezer. So would this activate more than once? I don't think so. I think it would only activate once. So I do have 2 of a kind. I would get to store 2 ice shards in the freezer. That's how I would interpret that. Okay. So that is my defensive roll. I have dealt that out. I prevented my damage. He did his attack. And that is the conclusion of this Cult Thug. This Cult Thug will not activate. Strike team needs 2 swirlies. Boom, 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 nope, and boom, nope. All right, so that is the conclusion of the henchman phase here. We will rotate the crisis clock by 1 for the number of players. Then we'll be back up top to the movement phase. I'm actually gonna stay right where I am at. I'll gain 1 CP. I will draw 1 card, which is what status effects. All right, so I will go ahead and discard this for 1 CP. All right. I'm at 5 momentum. I can spend 1 to prevent 3 damage. That's actually pretty good. I might want to keep this guy. All right, I'm just gonna go straight into my roll and try and take out this henchman right here. Wow. So we have 5. Okay, I have glide. So ideally what I want to do is, man, I could do this into a glide. But I might not waste my glide. 7 damage. I gotta deal at least 7 damage. So ideally I'd want chill. Let me keep a 5 and re-roll everything else. Woof. Jeez Louise. Okay. I think I keep these and re-roll these 2, maybe? Let's see. All right, so 5, 5, 5, 6, and 3. What do I have? Change the value of any dice for 3 CP. Man, I had ice to meet you. That is unfortunate. All right, well, I will spend 2 CP to play Soul Wild. 1, 2. And let me see what I got. So this I can gain an ice shard, inflict dice cube, roll 5 dice, deal 1 for each, store 1 for each gain glide or draw 1 card. Okay, so that's not really gonna help me. Cold treat is probably my best bet. So what I would need to do is keep these. I'll just change this to a 3. All right, so I got 3 patterns and 3 ice, okay? So here we go, cold treat. Gain 1 CP, all right. Store 1 ice shard in the freezer, alrighty. And deal 7 defendable damage coming to him, all right? So he would use this shield to block 3. All right, then I got 4 left over. So that is enough to defeat him, which will put a marker right here. And I would gain 2 momentum up to 7. All right, so that's the conclusion of my offensive roll phase. Now I would move into my main phase 2. I don't have any cards. I really don't have anything that I need. So we will move into the offensive roll phase of the people. All right, so let's see. Nobody is going to activate. Well, ideally the strike team would activate, but they are melee, not range. Hellfire Club does not activate. Sniper does not activate, so I am scot-free. However, we are going to the Hellfire Club's crisis ability. So gain 1 shield for each hero. So everybody in the Hellfire Club is gaining 1 shield. Ooh, Jesus. And then they are rolling on one of those. They will increase the hack meter by 25%. All right, that's it. Movement phase. I think what I'm gonna do is go 1, 2, move here, collect this particular health, giving me 4 health. So this will bring me back up to 45. All right. And I gain 1, so that's the end of my movement phase. Upkeep phase, gain 1 CP, gain 1 card. Winter Punderland, gain glide. All right, that's pretty good. I'm gonna hold on to that, and we are moving straight into my offensive roll phase. All right, Let's see, we got 2 6s and 3 of these. What is this? So that's 5 undefendable damage straight into 7 defendable damage. That might be a move. Let me hold on to these. Gain 3 ice shard, deal 7 undefendable damage if I get 2 more 6s. Let me see. I might be playing with fire here, but let's see what we get. 2 4s. All right, I think I'll just keep that. And yeah, all right. So I will deal sub-0. All right, so it's 2 ice and 2 freeze. So deal 5 undefendable damage. All right, undefendable damage will take her down to 3. All right, take her down to 3. And now I will spend a glide. All right, I do have a glide. And I will spend this. And I will glide into Cold Treat. All right, so I glide into Cold Treat, which is gain 1 CP. Okay. Store 1 ice shard in the freezer. So that's 5 ice shard in the freezer here, and deal 7 defendable damage. So they are spending all 3. So that would cover 6. This would cover another 9, and basically I deal no more damage to that person. All right. Oh, actually, I can do this +3. So I will add the +3 to it. So let's see, 6. So what am I doing? 10 damage. So they had 9 to block. So this would deal 1 extra damage, bringing them down to, well, is it really worth spending the +3? Yeah, might as well. This will bring them down to a 2. And that will be the conclusion of my offensive roll phase. Now into my main phase, I will spend all 3 of my CP, and I will gain a glide. All right, I will gain a glide just like that. Boo. All right. And we will go from there. All right. Henchman roll phase. Hoo-wee. Okay, so this was just like this. All right. So Hellfire Club is going to activate with that sequence right there. So deal 5 undefendable damage to me. Multi-strike. All right, 5 undefendable damage, bringing me down to 40. All right. He is not. I am adjacent to a henchman, so I will not deal damage from the sniper. And that is the end of that particular phase. So we will move that crisis clock and then go back to the movement. Ooh, actually could have spent 1 to prevent 3 incoming damage. That's okay. I forgot about that. All right. Do I want to move? Ideally, I do. I want to move here, gain 3 health. So go back up to 41, 43 actually. All right. Go into my upkeep phase now, 1 CP. Try again. All right, try again. And let's roll some dice. Okay, so we have boom, boom, and 6. Chosen teammate can reroll up to 2 dice. Let's see if we get 6s. Get 1 more 6. All right, 6, 5, 4. One last time. We get 3 6s. I can store 8 ice shard in the freezer. Actually, I have everybody chilled too, which I might do. Yeah, actually works out. So everybody chilled too. 3 6s and this, so gain 2 ice shards. All right, 2 ice shards here. Then deal 5 defendable damage, and I can add 1 damage per ice shard, so 10 defendable damage. This would be enough to defeat her. Place this on here, and I gain 2 momentum for doing so. All right. I'm just gonna end my turn there, or yeah, I'm just gonna end my turn there. I'm not gonna use glide, and we will proceed to the henchman phase. I actually completed a bonus objective. So I distribute 4 momentum amongst us, but 10 is the max momentum I believe that you can hold. So I completed this objective. I have actually completed the main objective here, which is defeat 4 henchmen, defeat 4 enemies, then move all heroes through the exit. However, I do have to defeat him to get through the exit. Okay, so let's go to henchmen. 333. All right. So the sniper will hit me with 4 undefendable damage. This will bring me to 39. All right, 39. And the crisis clock will move up 1, so I lose 1 CP. Okay. And that is the conclusion of the henchman phase. All right. Movement phase. I want to move right here, remove 1 status effect token from self or gain 1 momentum. I will choose to gain 1 momentum, but I have max momentum. Man. I need to use more allies. I have a crap ton of momentum, but I don't know what to do with it. All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and let's gain 1 CP in the phase. Let's draw a card, upkeep. I only have ice for you. Add 1 damage per ice shard. Okay, that's pretty good. I think I'll spend this to gain another CP, and let's see if I can maybe one-shot this guy. We'll see. Let's roll. 6/6 double. What is that? 6/6 double. That's 5 undefendable damage. Add 1 damage per ice shard. Oof. That is defendable damage. Jeez. Okay. Let's see if I can get lucky. Second roll. We got 3 of these. Man. I might be able to. I need 1 more 6. I got 5 undefendable right now. I can treat that into cold treat. Let's see. All right, perfect. That's what I needed. So 3 6s and a ice gives me everybody chill. So gain 2 ice shard. I'm already at my stack limit. I can't convert that into glide. Deal 5 damage, defendable. Then choose 1. Add 1 damage per ice shard. So 10 defendable damage. So these 3 are coming out. All right, so that is 9. He will take 1, dropping him down to 7. I will spend my glide. All right, I will spend my glide token to glide over into cold treat. So gain 1 CP. Store 1 ice shard in the freezer. I have more than 5, which will give me a glide token that I can store here. And then I'm dealing 7 defendable damage, which is enough to take him out. All right. And I will gain 2 more momentum, but I am in the, I'm already at max. All right, let's do our defensive roll phase here. So 3, I'm not adjacent to any thugs. Strike team will not activate. We have no more hellfire, and sniper does not activate. All right, we would move the crisis clock. Pass turn, movement phase, I am out of the exit arena there, and I have completed my objective, so I would distribute 6 health. So this would bring me back to 45. All right, then flip the board for the final battle. All right, guys, well, look, that is the mission run. Again, I do want to say that this is my very first time playing one of these Marvel missions, so I'm sure I made a mistake somewhere.